I'd like to call the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission to order. It is May 8th, 2019. It's 9 a.m. If everybody can stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brad, can you call the roll, please?
Yes. Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Mr. King?
Here.
Mrs. Moyer?
Here.
Mr. Conyers? Here. Mr. Garrison?
Here.
Eugene Whitehead is absent.
Need approval for the April 17th minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have the Westdale Community Schools request. Mr. Bush.
Yes, I sent the information into Mr. Brookout with regard to the overall cost that we're looking at, and with regard to what we were asking, and I'd be glad to answer any questions if you have them.
I don't have any questions. I know that your first request, you guys come in and asked us was $288,000.
Yes. And that's what so we're still asking for. I was just showing you that there would be an in-kind contribution for the corporation.
I'd entertain a motion to do the $288,000, have our attorney draw up a resolution for this. Would we need to do anything else besides that, Joe, besides having you do a resolution? And also have the invoices sent to the Redevelopment Commission, and we can take care of the invoices up to the $288,000.
That'd be great. We would appreciate it.
It'll be reimbursable.
Yes.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Have any questions? Comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and I'll be in contact with you, Brad, or anybody that we need to do, but we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next, we have the sidewalk update, the ADA sidewalk ramp at Clara Lane.
Good morning, everybody. This month, the United Construction Services has an invoice of $165,841.31. There's a retainage of $8,728.49. They're right about 98% complete. If you noticed out there, the pedestrian signals are now up at each intersection at McGalley and Morrison, and also Chatham. I was here a couple of weeks ago, and they still had a black plastic over the top. They were all beeping, so we're kind of in a test mode right now with NDOT. Get those done. But the railing was not in yet at Prime Trust when I was here last, so
It's in now.
it's in now. Excuse me. The fabricator had a problem with the measurements. He had to go back and redo some of the railing. So landscaping's in right now. So I'm waiting for right now a quote from Jacob for adding a handicap ramp at Aldi's, the Walmart area. So he's just waiting for some striping in there. And what I want to do is I'm thinking of using just a paint striping right now because that pavement's not in good shape. I'm not sure it's worth putting thermoplastic right now, just because it's got to be resurfaced eventually. So I'm just thinking of painting the piano keys across there.
Do you have an estimate that you guess that will come back in a range?
I don't have an estimate
Okay.
for that.
What I'm thinking of is I know that Delaware County's been requested by a group to get that completed, and we are likely not having a June meeting. And if this was up to $5,000, if this board could authorize me to sign the contract so it could proceed once Jacob gets you, I think that would be in the best interest to get it done.
Okay, I mean, we could go back to him. Like I said, I asked him yesterday if he was going to be here also.
Is like up to $5,000, do you think is an appropriate?
That would be close to it. You could say up to that much, and if it goes over, they just won't put it in until they have
Okay.
an additional appropriation.
Sounds good. I'd ask the commission to authorize me to sign that once we get that, so we can get that done this spring, because I know there's people who want to, there's people in wheelchairs wanting to that, so.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Thanks, Roger, just get that to me once you get it from Jacob. I'll get it executed as long as it's within the range.
Okay, thank you. And we've got some, we'll stick around, but after the meeting, we've got some phase 2 plans back here. We'll be happy to go over it with you if you have any questions on that too, so.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thanks, Roger. Next, we have the aerial imaging, Kyle Johnson. I don't see him.
Yeah, I don't see him here. I'll speak on Kyle's behalf. This is something that the commission has helped with the GIS before, helped keep the beacon system up and going. It's now being transferred to an aerial image called Eagle View. He's requesting $4,200 total, split into 2 payments, $2,100 in 2019, $2,100 in 2020. Will go towards the project. So I use this almost every day. I know Joe uses Angie. We all use Beacon. So I think it's a cheap investment for the amount of use that the community gets for it. I usually split this cost between all of the TIF districts. So it's just a little bit out of each TIF so we can help maintain this system.
I move to approve Kyle's request.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Joe will have a resolution since it's outside of the TIF district, so I'll have a resolution
Yeah.
next meeting to confirm it. Okay.
Next, we have the road paving request, Mr. Jesse.
Yeah, Robert Jesse with Delaware County Highway. I have a couple proposals that I would like to see if I could get redevelopment to pay for. Both of them are in TIF districts. One of them is Westport Edition, which has probably not been paid in 20 years. The other is Phillips Drive, and I think that's in the industrial TIF. They had a lot of problems in the back of that with flooding because of where the circle is. So we just need to see if we can get money to take care of it.
The Westport quote comes out at $87,867. It's off Tesla Road, so of course will come out of the Morrison Road TIF district. The Phillips Drive is in the area of the Industrial Center TIF district. Total cost is $34,250. Adequate funds exist at both locations to pay these roads. This was one request too we had from county council, always likes us to supplement the paving budget with TIF dollars.
With TIF dollars,
Yes. And we would also, this would also be if you approve, this would also be a resolution Joe Retz would prepare for the next meeting. Because they're on the edge, they would be considered serving and or benefiting the TIF districts, but they are outside of the actual district, very close, adjacent to.
I move to approve Bob Jesse's request.
Second. Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll go to the tree trimming request for Hoyt Avenue.
Yes, this is a project that Commissioner King and Commissioner Shannon Henry have worked on. I know Commissioner Regan is also in favor of this as well. Angie has worked on with the highway garage on the map of the tree locations along Hoyt Avenue in and around the Southside Church of the Nazarene. As you know, if you come from Indianapolis and you put Muncie in your GPS, it takes you right up Hoyt Avenue. So it's nice to make Hoyt Avenue look good. We did put out for bids. The commissioners opened the sealed bids on Monday morning at the regular meeting. The low bidder was Hickson Waters Tree Service at $26,800. Since that time, Commissioner Henry has made me aware that AEP might possibly cut some of the trees that are interfering with the power lines. So a meeting has been arranged with AEP and they're considering that now. That amount might come down. What I'd like you to do though, if you see this as a good request, is approve up to $28,000 for the removal of the trees along Hoyt Avenue. And then I will work with the contractor and the commissioners to get it completed.
also includes some trees along Fusen and Old 67 as well. There's-
Good point,
I
yes.
thought that was a really good quote for the amount of work
Yeah.
that's being done.
Yeah, because you drive down through there, there's a lot of the trees that's right up next to the roadway. Some of them looks like they're about ready to fall over into the roadway.
It's surprising now, but I mean,
Yeah.
we've been complaining for 15 years trying to get this done.
There are
We're
some
just
that have
waiting on one of them
fallen.
to fall and hurt somebody.
Yeah, and the county's come out and pushed them over into the ditch. A lot of them are ash and elm and they're dead.
They're
Well,
bad.
Yeah,
we've got the industrial park out there now too, that we've been rebuilding the roadways and everything else, so we need
It's
to
really nice.
yeah.
make it a little bit nicer
Mhm.
to keep attracting businesses in.
Last year, there was a tree that fell on 500 West, also on a family,
Mhm.
and injured some people pretty bad
Yes.
during the storm, so. So I would ask for you to approve up to $28,000 from the Industrial Center TIF district for this project, and I will work with the county to get it carried out.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll move to the J. Crew agreement for mowing.
These are standard agreements that the commission has maintained for the last 2 years from J. Crew Landscaping. One is to mow the grass at the corner of Bethel and Morrison on that northeast corner that the Redevelopment Commission of the county owns. The other one is for the Fusion Road Shell Building. These were originally bid out when the work was first needed to be done, and J. Crew was the low bidder at that time. They've maintained their price. I'm discouraged on rebidding these types of projects every year because I think it's a race to the bottom. I think you end up getting subpar service. J. Crew's done a good job, and I'd ask you to approve the 2 agreements so that they will continue at these locations.
Move to approve the 2 agreements.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll move to Jones Brothers Trucking ditch clearing request.
Yeah, this is the best economic development project that I've ever worked on in my life. Jones Brothers Trucking has, and I say that with sincerity, Jones Brothers Trucking is increasing their fleet of trucks based out of Delaware County. They've added 8 trucks. They'll be adding another 15 this summer. That number coincides with the approximate number of new hires for Jones Brothers Trucking. They are hiring as many drivers from the Muncie area as possible. They're optimistic that their long-term plan will be 50 trucks based out of the Mount Pleasant Boulevard location with 50 to 75 total employees. What they are requesting is the county to clear the ditch line along Mount Pleasant Boulevard. They have an estimate from Plant Studio Landscape for $1,925 to do that work. There is no formal economic development agreement due to the amount just being low, and it's really clearing public right of way anyways to allow for sightline.
And are they gonna maintain it after?
They will maintain it, yes, they will. They procured the quote from Plant Studio Landscape because Plant Studio's offices are right across the street, so Plant Studio's looking at it too. They're just working with their neighbor on the project.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I actually had a phone call from Community Corrections about a month ago. They said they had a gentleman who had a couple of low-level felonies. He was trying to get a job and having some trouble getting a job. Jobs that he was running into were paying $10, $12 an hour, and wanted to know if I could help him out with anything better so he could support his family. I called Jones Brothers Trucking. They had a meeting. I was then notified by Community Corrections that Jones Brothers agreed to pay for this gentleman to get his CDL license. They're starting him at $55,000 a year, so it's a good deal, yeah. So they're a good community partner. So I'd ask for you to approve the $1,925 so we can help them continue on Mount Pleasant Boulevard.
So
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll move to the Indiana Economic Development Foundation request.
This is a request from Indiana Economic Development Foundation. Commissioner King, along with Bill Walters and I, and the County Economic Development team have worked closely with the state. the governor and the Secretary of State travel to foreign countries and to locations, and they take our Fusion Road shell building information with them. They have introduced us to a couple leads. One is coming to Delaware County in June. This amount of money is a pledge that helps support their travel and their marketing and the things the work that they do. They asked for a higher amount. They asked for $28,000. I told them that I thought that the county would probably be more inclined to start with this program around maybe 5,000 would be a better number to start to consider, and then we could build from there. But I would encourage you to approve this amount so that we need to continue to build relationships with the state to market our county and our properties, and this will help do that.
So are you wanting a motion for the 5,000
For
or
the
the?
Well, five,
Okay. I'll
yes,
move to approve.
thank you.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Move down to the Delaware Police Vehicle lease.
You want me to talk about this, James?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. The town of Delville is, as you know, is largely in the TIF district. The town has a small TIF in the downtown, but the county oversees the balance of the larger TIF. As a result, this body has assisted the Delville Police Department in the purchase of vehicles in the past. I know that it's been a few years since we've done that. Commissioner King has reported back that his current fleet is of age and of mileage, that they need to address it with some new vehicles. He has sought quotes and pricing on new vehicles. I've forwarded that to you in the email. What he proposes is a leasing of 4 new vehicles, an amount of $21,676 every 6 months for 4 years. And this would allow him to replace his current aging fleet with some new vehicles in Delville.
Yeah, two of the vehicles are 7 years old. The other 2 6 years old. They've all got between 125, 150,000 miles, and they're actually costing more money every month to maintain once they reach a certain age. That it's honestly cheaper to go out and do a lease and replace all 4 at the same time.
So Indiana Public Finance is the agency that provides the lease financing for the vehicles, but the one that's quoted the rate. This would also have to be approved by the town of Delville. I have the documents here, which I will give to the attorney for him to seek those approvals of the town. If the commission so wishes to approve this, I'll make that happen. It's the next step.
I'll move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? I'm gonna abstain from the vote.
So noted.
Next, we have the Nebo Road Bridge request.
Commissioners, I was approached by the town of Yorktown with a really good opportunity. They are enhancing Nebo Road from State Road 32 to River Road. They're gonna be doing a sidewalk project. They're building a new roundabout at Nebo and River Road. And Pete Olson approached me and said, do you need to do any repair work while we're doing our project? And I said, absolutely. And worked with their engineers and got some estimates to replace the approach slabs and terminal joints that have been causing us headaches for the past 10 years. So I'm requesting $50,000. I'm not gonna need it until December when we go to letting. That will cover our match for the construction of the bridge repairs and inspection.
This will come out of the Nebo TIF, right?
Yes, that is correct. And this is also one that is considered serving and or benefiting the TIF district, so we would need a resolution from the attorney for the next meeting.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Next, we have the Wheeling Safety Improvement right-of-way parcel acquisition.
For the Wheeling safety improvements, just a reminder, this is at Wheeling and Moore Road where we're doing a traffic signal. And then we're widening at Wheeling and Carrington Boulevard to allow for turning movement into the subdivision. 5 parcels were necessary to work with to acquire right-of-way. And appraisals were done and all 5 property owners accepted the initial appraisals for a total of $22,880. I just need that approval.
Those are also listed as the last 5 invoices as well.
Okay. Just need to do a motion and a second.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We'll move to the CEP, request for landscaping at Bethel Avenue and Claire Lane.
Yes, you may or may not know, but CEP is Community Enhancement Projects. It's a local not-for-profit board. They have maintained this area. It's kind of a no man's land between Claire Lane and McGuire, abutted by Bethel Avenue as it turns in front of Prime Trust there on the east side. On the east side of the corner. The Morrison Road sidewalk project went through the area. Landscaping was disturbed. There was some plans to put some stuff back. A lot of that work has been done at this time. CEP has worked with J. Crew Landscaping a lot in the past, and they helped them with a lot of their projects. They initially asked for up to $18,450 for the County Redevelopment Commission to redo that area. I told them I thought that was a little bit high, and I asked them to work on some reductions in costs. They came back with a revised plan for the County Redevelopment Commission. They would ask for $13,215. And then CEP is pledging $3,285 of their own money to go towards that, to take it just over $16,000 project. What this is it's a stone bed area, cutting back on mulch, cutting back on grass cutting. They're trying to reduce their costs long term. So we're basically helping them they've agreed to maintain that corner. We're helping them do that with this request. So I would ask for your approval of $13,215 to come from the Morrison Road capital account. That's the account that's largely funding the sidewalk improvement project in that area.
And then they'll continue to maintain.
They'll continue, yes. They also, just for perspective, CEP also maintains the Morrison Road roundabout, the landscaping of the Morrison Jackson. So they also do some flower pots in downtown Muncie. I think they do the Cornerstone Park in downtown Muncie. They do some nice projects, yeah.
I'll move to approve.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next, we'll go to the easement to the Railspur settlement agreement.
Yes, I'm not confident that this is going to be agreed to by Bernini, but the county has reached a verbal agreement, is the best way to say it, with Gear Systems USA, which is Bernini, to acquire easement on the south side of their facility. There were 2 appraisals done on that. The amount that was agreed to as a result of the appraisals was $46,400. This would provide access for the county to get to the rail spur. We've been needing to get to the rail spur for a long time. Rail spur was originally built for Bernini. They didn't use it. We have 2 other companies in county who would like to use it. We need access. So I heard the commissioners approved this Monday at their meeting. They approved the agreements, and they would like to utilize the Bernini clawback money that this body is in control of in the TIF account to pay for this fee for this. I'm not convinced that Bernini is going to sign the final agreement and make it very difficult to negotiate with on this. So I'd ask for your approval, but I'm not convinced it's going to happen. But I need your approval just in case.
I'll move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to the June Delaware County Redevelopment Commission meeting,
Cancel.
canceled.
Three members will be absent at that meeting.
If we need to, we can have a special meeting
Yeah, we need to have
afterwards.
a special meeting. I'll notify the members of that, but as of now, with that meeting, we have three absentees.
Okay. So just duly note that it's
It's
canceled.
canceled. You got it. That's all that's for, is just let everybody know, don't show up here.
Yeah. Next is the invoices. I just asked for a motion to pay all invoices as presented.
So moved.
Have a motion and a second to pay all invoices. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next, we have the FMB administration bond for Nevo, $2,000.
Just First Merchants Bank's administration of the NEVO bond, we receive a $2,000 administration. Donna keeps me on top of this every year.
Motion
Try.
approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Next, public comments, discussion.
I'm gonna say something real quick. I usually sit back here and quiet, but I'm out in the Claire Lane area a lot. And 2 times last week, I saw someone pushing someone in a wheelchair using that sidewalk. And one day a lady was holding a baby in a wheelchair. I thought, man, how much safer is it that sidewalk's there? So just want to thank you guys for doing that. A lot of people don't realize all the things that go on, but it was nice to see that. So just wanted to speak up about it.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
So we hear a lot of complaints about how TIF districts are spent and all of that. People come to our meetings and see we're doing it for roadways, we're doing it like for removing trees, making our area a little bit more safer, we're doing it on trails, sidewalks, so we're putting the money where it needs to go, helping out the school systems and everything else. So, a lot of people, as long as you use this in the right way, TIF districts are actually good. It's the ones that don't use it in the right way that hurts it. So, I appreciate everybody on this board because we do the right thing with the TIF money.
I'd like to note too, the amount of work that's done by this body in a 30-day period between meetings is enormous.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of stuff going on. It's thanks to cooperation of Donna and Roger, Mike, Joe, Carrie, Angie, James, everybody's pitching in and is a piece of all of this in some little way. And,
Well, you take the trails and the sidewalks we're doing on the north end of town, what we're doing on the south end of town, we're spending about $11 million or a little bit more on trails and sidewalks to make our community safer.
that's a bigger trail investment that's probably happening anywhere else in the state of Indiana right now by a single body.
Mhm.
It's pretty significant, yeah. And we do it all without negative newspaper stories.
Yeah.
So, it's incredible.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned.